are no words. Feel a song that's never been heard. How do you know when you hear the call? What do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, 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 cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use. You be you and I'll be me, it's just a matter of style. You can't fake it, mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move them out, let them roll, from sea to shining sea. Ball, cannonball. What do you do when the mountain is there? How do you answer the challenging dare? And when your back's against the wall, what do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, cannonball, cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use. You be you and I'll be me, it's just a matter of style. You can't fake it, mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move them out, let them roll, from sea to shining sea. Ball, cannonball. Hey, now cannonball, 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 cannonball.
Yes, indeed. Good afternoon, morning, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the Apex Online Racing iRacing of Formula Renault League Season number 1, Round 5, the penultimate round here at the Virginia International Raceway. My name is King-Kodiak and I'll be one of your commentators throughout this evening's race. Joining me in the commentary box, I'm always happy to say, my favourite companion for this series, Mr. StevieSQ.
Hello everybody, yes, it's this another round, another instalment of this brilliant, one of our 3 AOR iRacing leagues. We are today at Virginia International Raceway, which is a brilliant track. I love this track, and these cars and this combination of the track is dangerous. It's great.
Yes, with the preceding practice session, there were a lot of people lawn mowing and facing the wrong way. So this is going to be a definite test of patience more than just outright raw skill. But equally, the merest, tiniest mistake and the curbs are ready to bite, DRS in the wrong place, and it will certainly spit you out. This is going to be... yeah, this is going to be fantastic. We say it every week. It's going to be a great race. We always hope that it is, but yeah, I think this one is going to be particularly spectacular. These are very powerful cars on a very, very twisted track.
Absolutely. I went out and had a little drive myself. Oh boy, it's tough. It's really tough. These cars, when we talk about the power, we're not joking. They are insanely powerful cars. And you have to, certainly here, you have to be very patient. I'm watching on board with Kimi Larson, starting his 3rd lap. He's currently P2 at the minute. It's an amazing performance by Kimi at the minute.
Yeah, because Kimi was actually last in the practice session, so he was definitely sandbagging.
Yeah, he was a little bit late into the session, but he's doing well now.
We have a bit of a smaller field tonight. Only 16 drivers join us for this evening's race. Daniel Morris was actually the last one to join, literally with seconds left of the practice session, so I imagine he may struggle somewhat, judging by how, those that have been in the session, those that are, familiar with the car at this particular track have already done. I would imagine Daniel, with less practice than the rest, may well struggle somewhat, but we'll see. Valtteri Alander has just taken the pole spot with a 1:29.770. Kingdom Larson 2, Renault 3, Tim Delisle 4. Tim was the fastest? What on earth is that? Quickest and fastest, muddled up. That's what it is.
There you go.
In the practice session, that was actually held by Mr. Delisle. So no major gaps going on. Biggest gap is I can see is about. I was just about to say it was there with Erkel, but he's actually just improved on his time to slightly close the gap between himself and Stefan Herman. It's actually there, Alexander Waldo to Erkel, and that's only 0.6. So yeah, still a fairly heavily condensed field.
Absolutely. This track is going to reward those who did practice. This is not a track you want to turn up to having done very little. And just to point as well, like you say, you mentioned there are slightly reduced grid. We have a couple of championship challenges that are not here tonight. Just as a bit of a recap, the championship as it currently stands, Valtteri Alander on top with 164 points. Timo Valchiavi, who is not here, is second on 141 points, so he's 23 points off. Charlie Summers in third, also not here, is on 132 points, so 32 points off. And Rennie Osterkamp in fourth has 128. He's 36 points off the championship lead. And he's currently fourth overall, and he's not going to be improving. He's done all 3 laps.
Yeah. So the first and fourth in the championship are the very same positions in qualifying. That's not orchestrated, I promise you. That would be hellishly hard to orchestrate.
Really would. By contrast, Kimi Larson is... Where is he in the championship? He is 18th in the championship on 39 points, and he's currently second. So I suspect Kimi has done some practice for this, and it is going to pay him brilliant.
Phil Reed up to third, 130.0, and big screech of the tyres as he comes to a halt. His day is done. Alander's still going, but he's already used his laps, isn't he?
Yes, everybody will have done their laps.
Hopefully we won't have as much kind of server-side lag as we've had in the past, although latest upgrades to iRacing itself does seem to have helped that a little bit. A bit of a smaller grid. I think Daniel Morris is lagging a little bit.
He's had some issues before, I think, as well. So
I think so. Evan Imre's still going. He's 6 and 12, 131.518.
Oh, look at this! Look at this final corner he's going through now. It is so fast, and you can carry so much speed through it going onto the back straight. I will not be surprised at all if we see people running wide there. And if you do, you've got a lot of space on the outside. There's a big old field.
Yes.
Which I think is the only fair way of describing that.
Absolutely. Now, I did say, when Stevie ran through the calendar a little while ago for this series and also for all of our iRacing series, I did say I'd never seen this track before. And when we actually came into the session, I realised I had. I have seen this track before, but not for a long time. I commentated this track alongside Phil Reed for the Ferrari Ford Challenge Cup, which was 2 years ago, Mr. Stevie?
It was a while ago. I can't remember the exact year, but it was a while ago.
I think it was 2 years ago, or at least 18 months ago. And it was my first ever iRacing commentary, or one of my first ever iRacing commentaries. That's Valtteri Alander flying off the road, exactly doing what Stevie said would happen, right the way down there. That was turn 11. And actually, at that very spot, we saw a lot of trouble in those GTEs. So, yeah, and these things are skitty. So, yes. We could well see some dead wings or a few incidents, particularly in the opening laps.
Absolutely. This track is not to be trifled with by any stretch of the imagination. It is mean. It's great fun, but it's mean. And you've got to be on the ball. You cannot afford a mistake here. Oh, we've got Phil rejoining for the national anthem of Virginia.
Oh, go on then.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Phil.
How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're probably going to enjoy this more than you drivers will.
Okay, probably. Right. Serenation time, okay?
Go for it.
Go for it.
Alright. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia International Raceway. Country roads, take me home.
Bravo.
Beautiful.
Alright.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you. See you later. See you next time.
Oh, what a pleasure. Well done.
Oh, you got 30 seconds to get through the grid.
I was going to say, yeah, you better ready up PDQ. Right, as we can see, everybody is gridding up, standing start for this race. Look at it. I always forget which ones are standing and which ones are rolling. If I'm honest, I feel really fascinated to the grid. Yeah, that's a standing start, so we'll wait for what is we're waiting on. And we will get this race underway.
Just for reference, people, that is a bit of an iRacing tradition of Phil Will. That was not just broadcast to us. He was on mic in the session singing that to all the drivers, whether they liked it or not.
We are away then here at Virginia International Raceway. A good start from Valtteri, as you may imagine, then has been chased down the road by, well, obviously being chased by everybody. Phil Reed, a lovely move on the inside coming into turn one. Can he get that second position? We get to him. Looks like it. He has. What a move by Phil Reed. Very nicely done, demoting Kimmy Larson down into third. Looks like everybody has made it through so far, so good. Not seeing any major. Have we lost Daniel Morris already? So,
I don't know whether he might be starting from the pit lane. I don't know. I can't see him in a minute.
I've got nothing for.
Nope. I assume he's not starting the race.
Oh dear. Half the session then. And look at that. That's Ruben Morris and Tim Delisle. Two of the quickest men in practice, fighting for 5th and 6th at the moment. The two teammates then come streaming down towards that very treacherous turn down at the moment. We saw Valtteri Landa very dramatically bin it at the end of. Well, if we look at that Phil Reed on the tail of Valtteri Landa, whether he's used one of his very few DRS, remember they have 8 users of DRS, there goes Phil Reed. Is that going to be moved done? He's got to get that done before they get to the twisties through the roller coaster of turn 14. Phil Reed is indeed up into the lead and does get the move done before they get there. Very nicely done. But of course, if he's used one of his 8 DRS for the entire race, then that's going to hurt towards the tail end of it. But Phil Reed, a nice and clean move for the lead. It looks like the top two breaking away from Kimi Larson, René Osterkamp, keeping the pressure on the Super Swede. Then you've got they're basically breaking off into pairs by the look of it.
It looks like it. Just a point in chat. Apparently, the game sound is too loud. It's hard to hear the commentators.
Okay, I will try and do something about that. Not a great deal I can do about that, but I will see what I can do to adjust it.
And yeah, great start by Phil Reed though. He took that by the horns and has jumped up 2 places straight away, which will be crucial for him. He's going to want that clear air. He's going to want to be able to run out front and run his own pace. And now Valtteri has got the unfortunate business of dealing with dirty air.
And that's certainly not ideal at this particular circuit. But that's something they knew they had to deal with. Again, still the 2x2. So that's Patrick Kessler and Stefan Herman. That's back for 8th position there. Then followed by Lindstrom and Evan Imre. Alexander Waldo in there. Sarah Dover's got Christoph Holstein for company. And then slightly behind them, Kenny Martinson. He is in 14th position. And Butelaar at the tail of the field. But it doesn't look like... No, just as I say that, Phil Reed and Valtteri Landa have swapped position again.
Yeah, it's a mighty long straight coming out of turn 12, and you've got a long way up to turn 14. There isn't a turn 13. We're not sure why. We suspect it's because it's unlucky number 13. But yeah, we may see that quite a few of that. It looks like though Phil's going to have another go back on Valtteri into turn 1 into the horseshoe. He's going to go the long way around if he's going to do it. Valtteri's defending. It's going to be difficult to go on the outside here. It's a long corner. And you really need to be tight on the apex. Phil with a wiggle on exit. He's had to tuck him behind for now.
that's interesting. Valtteri Landa's not used to having that much pressure for such a long period of time. We're used to seeing him just run off into the distance, but Phil Reed is sticking to him like glue. And the more they fight, the more Kimi Larson and René Osterkamp gain on them. So the field has spread out a little, but not too far just yet.
No, we've still got these pairs. We've got Stefan Herman very close to Patrick Kessler now, going up through the turn 7, 8 and 9. This incredibly fast uphill section. It's like Maggotts and Beckett's, but with elevation change. And it finishes with a very fast left-hander, which the drivers, from what I've seen, most of them are taking flat. But you've got to get the line absolutely right and definitely not have DRS open or you will die.
Yeah. As we saw in the qualified session, here comes Phil Reed again for the lead. Here he comes. Now, we can't see whether the DRS has been used. It's very hard to tell. Valtteri Landa's still on the inside, but no, Phil Reed's got the move done again. Back up in the first. But there is Kimi Larson now. He could well start to put the pressure onto Valtteri Landa. Oh, go on.
Phil took a lot of curb on that final corner of turn 17A. I thought he was going to go shooting off the track, but he didn't. He's managed to hold it. Yeah, Phil seems to be very willing to fight this one out, and fair play to him. I'm sure Valtteri's not wanting this. We've seen him before far too often of running away out front. But he's going to have to work for it today, it looks like. Oh, we've got positions with Alexander Waldo and Evan Imre scrapping it out. Evan just managing to hold off Waldo on this attempt.
He certainly did, but I'm keeping very much an eye on how our lead battle. I mean, actually, you've got to go down to 7th before you have a gap that's greater than a second between two cars. Again, also keeping an eye on Lieberman Morris and Tim Delisle. That battle very close. Tim Delisle really getting under the rear wing of car 66, not able to do much with it at the moment. There's not really anything you're going to be able to do through this twisty section. You're going to have to wait for a big braking zone. He's going to make a move. No, and again, it's quite a strange braking zone for turn 11. It's not a sort of dead straight into a really slow corner. It's quite a long, relatively long sweeping corner for turn 11. But look at Valtteri Landa. He's fallen off the back of Phil Reed. Here comes Kimi Larson. Is he going to make a move? That's very late. But no, he thinks better of that. I was hoping he wasn't going to commit to that because that would have been interesting.
It's a tricky end to that straight. It's a slick left for the braking zone, but then it's an immediately tight right-hander. So the inside can quickly become the outside and vice versa. So really you want that move done before you get there, and you want the recently passed or attacking a person to work with you there and not have a collision and just go single file through there before it leads onto that very tight, still very fast final part of the lap. But yeah, Phil Reed looks like he's pulled, well, he's over a second clear now up front. So this is interesting for now. He's now definitely well out of slipstream range of Valtteri.
Oh, Canute! Canute, what has happened to you?
Oh, he's had a spin at turn 1. I would suspect. What's
happened? Just too many beans too soon. Did he keep that forward? Yeah, just about.
Yeah, you have to be so patient on the throttle in these cars. Like I said, I had a little drive earlier, and out of there you're on half throttle to 3/4 throttle for a long time. It is scary to put the power down too early, because all you're going to do is that.
Yeah, the rear tyres just give up and go, no. Oh, here comes Kimi Larson again. And he backed out that. Now, I reckon he DRS'd that because he gained on Valtteri Landa at a scary rate of knots then. So I reckon...
Sorry, Kessler and Herman. Herman passed Kessler on the run up to turn 14. And... Kessler then tried to look like he was going to have a move back again on Herman into turn 14 and left it a little late to back out. It would have been a scary moment for both of them. So it cost him a lot of time.
Was that Justin's comment in chat that made you giggle there? Good to see you, Justin. But yeah, Canute crashed. That's as close as I'll ever get to pronouncing that. And Valtteri Landa's back on Phil Reed's case. So Phil Reed did get up to about 1.2 seconds ahead, but now faces all the pressure on his shoulders again. But Kimi Larson's not far behind. René Osterkamp He's either biding his time or he's not been able to quite match the pace of the three ahead. But now these three have really condensed. Here comes Valtteri Alander streaming through the twisty bits. I was going to say, surely he's not going to... Whoa! No! Phil Reed just got slightly out of shape. And there's a huge impact there. That's...
That is damage on the front of Valtteri Alander as well. He's definitely got front wing damage. That was so close. I saw Phil on the exit, on the entrance to turn 10. He got a little bit on the grass. I almost pointed it out, but then he looked fine. And then on the exit, it just went around on him.
There
and Kimi Larson has just passed him for the lead.
Yeah, he has. Oh no! Valtteri Alander's having none of that. Damage or not, he's hanging on to the lead. That's brought Rene Oskamp right in there. And this is an opportunity then for Rene to kind of regain a bit of momentum in this championship. Currently lies in 4th. So this will be a great opportunity. If Valtteri is going to struggle with the car, Phil Reed is down to 8th. He's got terrible trouble. There goes Erka Lindstrom. In comes that wounded car 44. I mean, Phil Reed took a hell of a whack off the off of Valtteri's car, so I suspect he's going to be in there a while. But that is not going to be the only incident. We've seen Evan Imre. Oh wow, that's a cluster. There's Christoph Holstein, Sarah Dove in that particular gaggle going on there. Butalas had trouble at some point because he's 8 seconds behind that particular battle. He looks like he's actually very cautious at that point. We've seen Kanu Munderson dive towards the wall involuntarily. So, but even if Valtteri's got damage on that car, he's not letting it show. But then again, it's going to be in the twisty bits that's really going to hurt. However, if Oskamp continues to attack Kimi Larson like that, that's going to allow Valtteri to stretch his legs a little bit.
Potentially, I think Valtteri is going to struggle just because he's definitely got that front wing damage. It's going to hinder his acceleration. It's probably going to hinder his overall grip as well. So it's definitely for the benefit of Larson and Oskamp to work together here and not let Valtteri keep that advantage he's got. He should be easy picking for most part.
Yeah, but look behind them.
I know. There's a big old group ready to swallow him up if he's got problems. Phil Reed has come back out. He's had a 37.5 second pit stop, which isn't well, it's not as quick as normal. But he has got clear air, so he can, and they do have to make a mandatory stop in this series. So he's done that now. But he now really can't afford any more mistakes. It's going to be difficult for him to recover more positions, I'm afraid.
He will rely on the mistakes of others, I think, to get a decent haul of points.
And just an update on Valtteri Alander, showing exactly how much I know. He just set his fast lap of the race. 31.5 with damage.
Yeah, I was going to say, considering how hard that impact was, Valtteri Alander, unless he is just absolutely, unless he knows that his next stop is going to be long for any potential damage, he's wringing the guts out of that car as much as he possibly can to try and build up a gap. Only he will. Yeah,
potentially, and we've seen it a few times of a driver with a slightly damaged car, but still defies all odds, and can still extract extreme performance from their car.
Lubomir Morris, Tim DeLisle swapping round. That was exactly how Phil Reed took the lead first time round, and how that battle went until that impact between Reed and Alander. So a fairly clean move then for Tim DeLisle, moves up into 4th position. He's got his sights set on that three-way pack up ahead now. Just over a second between Kimi Larson and Valtteri Alander. We've got Rene Oskamp in short order as well. Who else is in the battle? Looks like the rest of the battle, with the exception of Sarah Dove and Evan Imre. Everyone else is fairly spread out. That's Christoph Holstein that has broken away from immediate pressure from Evan.
That's only just happened. I just cut to them, and Evan got in a little bit hot going into turn 14 and locked up, ran a little wide, not off the track but away from the apex. Sarah capitalised, but had nowhere to go with it being so narrow, so it's cost both of them time to Christoph.
Yeah, we just jumped on the nose of Sarah Dove's car, and we saw the tail of Evan's car just twitched, and Sarah had nowhere to use that additional pace. So she's really keeping the pressure on. We'll see if she's able to capitalise on that as the race unfolds. And he's falling a bit off the back of Kimi Larson now. It's about 0.8 of a second between the two. there is Tim Delisle. So he's doing his best to close. He has indeed closed down about 6/10 between himself and René Osterkamp.
Yeah, fastest lap of the race last lap, only by 0.03 of a second from Valtteri Landau. But Tim Delisle has got some impressive pace. I mean, I was watching him a bit in practice, and through that treacherous turn 10 where Phil had his issue, I remember watching Tim take that completely flat and without even the slightest suggestion of a moment or a wobble. So he's clearly got a car that he can trust underneath him as well, which does a lot for you around here.
So enough, making use of that popular overtaking spot on the way down the back straight. As this overtaking Evan Imre and is now chasing off after Christoph Holstein. Wow, Tim Delisle now under a second between himself and Osterkamp. Goodness me, car 17 is flying.
Yeah, and another new fastest lap, 31.2. Oh, he had a moment going into turn 4. And to the left hook, he's got this tricky, very tight. You don't really want to ride the curbs too much, and certainly you don't want to open your DRS too much. We saw that too early. We saw that with René in the practice, and he died.
Very dramatically, yes.
But yeah, if you can get the car hooked up through here. Look, watch him on board if you can through this turn 10 here. No complaints whatsoever. And then you have like you said earlier, that tricky turn 11 wobble, that tricky braking zone for turn 11. It's uphill. There's a little bit of dirt on the outside as well, right on the racing line, which makes the track just a little bit slippery. And you want to carry as lot of speed as you can going into it, but you also need to make sure you slow down for the 90-degree right-hander that is Oak Tree turn 12.
Evan Imre staying on the back of Saradar. That's the closest battle we've got, and that's a battle for 11th. At the moment is...
What? Phil Reed's back in the pits.
Oh no, I saw he was struggling a bit. Has he had another issue?
I'm going to go and
Osterkamp! René Osterkamp's had a problem. What's happened here? Was in third. Oh, he got really out of shape coming down the hill. Oh, and that's lost him a lot of time. Tim Delisle, Morris, Herman's gone through. You saw he was just really out of shape coming down. Oh, that's Morris. Has Morris done exactly the same thing?
Oh, it was at the final corner. It was the final corner for René. I called it in before the race. I said that someone's going to run wide there.
That was exactly where Canoe Martinson went off.
Yep, and the Lumen has fallen foul of the traction issues. Yeah, this track is not friendly.
No, it's very unforgiving, this particular circuit. There is Patrick Kessler on the back of the now recovering Lubomir Morris. Oh, Kessler getting out of shape. A bit of dirty air heading through the twisty bits. Of course, they need the downforce. It's a very twisty circuit, but of course, when they're that close to someone, that's the one thing you don't have. Yeah,
these cars produce a lot of dirty air, which can make it difficult to follow, but they make up for it on the straight line. You get a lot of top end speed and top slipstream, and we have the DRS as well, which can help. Tesla's trying to put pressure on Lubomir Morris. He went for the jerk out at the last second just to try and scare somebody into thinking you're going for a move, but it doesn't really work at turn 14 because you're going that way anyway.
Osterkamp very close to the fellow SimRC racer of Stefan Herman. On my screen, they're wearing the same skin.
Yeah, they're not technically teammates, but they'd race under the same team. Overall in iRacing, that they are in this championship, they are not technically teammates. It's René Osterkamp and Patrick Kessler that makes up SimRC.
I see.
SimRC.
Bravo. I think that's Phil Reed's day done. He's been stationary for 2.5 minutes now. That's the end of Phil Reed's race. We didn't see Daniel Morris take the grid, and alas, another victim claimed down to 14 cars now. Look at this, René Osterkamp is just in the tyre tracks of Stefan Herman, heading down towards Oak Tree once again. And yeah, Osterkamp's just got no choice. He has to bide his time. Now is going to be the opportunity he needs to get through into fourth position. In the slipstream, of course, they're running. If they are running higher downforce, which they suspect, this could get interesting. They're going to be side by side as they come over the crest. Oh no! That was a an interesting moment. I think Herman must have backed out of that. From the angle I was
Yeah.
looking at, that looked very close.
Yeah, I suspect there was some helping going on there. Just getting out of the throttle a little bit just to let Renault through. But it's not really necessary. You get enough of a slipstream. If you get a good run out of turn 12, you get a good enough slipstream to slingshot by, which we saw with Valtteri and Phil early on in the race. But yeah, you put out as well the elevation down that.
Christoph
back
Holstein! Oh no, that was a huge incident for Christoph Holstein. What's that? Oh, that's where it went wrong.
Final quarter.
For René Osterkamp. What's gone wrong here?
Took a little bit too much curb and it jumped the car out, and he has wandered very wide. And then as he's come back on, he's dropped it. He just lost it as he rejoined the track. There's a bit of a bump. Exactly what Kimi Räikkönen did in 2014. Silverstone, when he got edged off track, came back on and had an almighty moment.
Oh, down the Wellington, wasn't it? It was, and then nearly smashed into the bridge. Yes, I remember that.
It's that kind of situation there. Kush is in the pits and out, I suspect.
Yes, that'll be the end of Mr. Holstein's race, I would imagine.
So we're very close to Evan Emmerich. They were chasing Chris Holstein, so they both just gained a position thanks to his demise. They've gone past the support pit lane. You can go through them. You won't be able to get pit stop because your pit crew won't there. But you can go through them, and you have to obey the pit lane speed limit to do it.
Oh, really?
Yep. It's still a pit lane. Still got to behave yourself.
Well, yeah, I grant you. And
Sarah tried to go on the outside, couldn't quite do it. So, sorry, carry on.
I was going to say, interestingly, Kimi Larsson's closing back in on Valtteri Landa. That gap was steadily increasing for the last few laps, but it's now down to just over a second.
Yep, Kimi just set his new personal best of the race, 31.5. It's a tenth off what Tim Dallara did last lap. 2/10 quicker than what Valtteri did. But we saw this a little bit a couple of weeks ago in Interlagos, where Valtteri didn't look the quickest out there at any point, really. He's certainly got pace, and he's leading the race, so he's doing something right. But there were moments, certainly at Interlagos, where he didn't look to have the outright pace of those around him, and I think it's fair to say that's kind of coming in again now. Kimi Larsson, okay, he's not as quick as the best lap, but at the minute he is gaining, and Tim Dallara looks like he's absolutely on it.
Patrick Hester on the back of Lubomir Morris. Is this going to be a move into that roller coaster turn 14 complex again over the crest? If he's going to, no, even if he got side by side now, it would be too dangerous. If they come over this crest, it's just lots of corners. So no, Kester just keeps the pressure on at the moment. What's the lap times last time? Look at that. That's what 8/10 looks like in these cars between Valtteri Landa and Kimi Larsson. Kimi Larsson hasn't had the best of seasons in these cars, but he's looking pretty strong at the moment. Now I've said it, we'll expect him to be doing some lawn mowing in the next few laps.
And it'll be your fault.
And it'll be 100% my fault. Stefan Herman and René Osterkamp still keeping each other company. Of course, René having that big moment a few laps ago. And then behind them, Morris and Kessler. So a few battles still to resolve.
Yeah, there's some very personal battles going on here. We're expecting about 40 laps to the race, so this is on lap 15 at the minute. About a third of the way, well, just over a third of the way through right now, and the gap out front is not wavering. But if you look at, I like, this is something I like about iRacing, in that how the track changes as you go along. The track will rubber in as they go along, but also all the dirt and sand that gets kicked on the track will gradually build up. There is a significant amount now on the around turn 10, and there's a bit around turn 11 as well, where the drivers are just pushing the limits. What's up?
Kessler doing exactly what you just said, getting the tail wagging in that car as he's booted it off of the exit of turn 12, the entry turn, and the tail was just not quite ready for that many horses to come down, but there it was. Herman is closing back in on René Osterkamp, gained half a second last time around, and Kimi Larsson gained a few tenths, and then new fastest lap by Valtteri Landa.
Statement of intent from Valtteri. You could, wow, you say that, the 31.1 he's just done, it was a second quicker than his last lap. So his pace was steadily dropping, but he's just responded with a very quick lap indeed.
You tease!
Yes, like come on, no! But he's got a long way to go, and as we've seen, not everyone is going to survive this without making a mistake. We know how good Ronnie Osterkamp is, and he's made a mistake already. So,
absolutely. Oh, again, look at the retirements already. Christoph Holstein, multiple champion in the GTE class, and Phil Reed, consistent front runner in this class, and it's already claimed them. So we will see how well they mate up. We're not even halfway through the race just yet. Long way to go and lots of racing to do. We said this before, this is going to be down to patience. This is going to be a case of, I know you're there, I want to close this gap, but I need to make sure that I've got the traction before I stick the boot through the floor.
Absolutely. You've got to get to the end, as is every race, but you certainly don't want to be overdriving here, because you need to have the car underneath you and you need to trust what it's going to do. And if you start taking unnecessary risks, you're going to pay the price for it. Just to answer the question in the chat about Alanda's car being damaged, if I look at it now, it appears not to be.
Oh, Rene! What's happened to Rene?
Has he made a mistake?
He has, because he's losing positions.
Same place.
Same place
exactly
again.
Same place. Yeah. Final corner. Is he going to take too much kill on the inside? No. Instead. No. Oh, what? Oh no, that was weird.
He just overcooked it.
He made it through the final corner at 17. Well, the penultimate corner technically at 17. But at 17.8, it just looked like he didn't put enough steering lock on and paid the price and lost a lot of time. That's a weird one.
It was a bit of a strange one. It wasn't like he had any kind of loss of downforce up front, because there was nobody there.
That's strange. I don't know what happened there, but he's now got some people to overtake. Patrick Kessler, his teammate, might not put up too much of a fight, but Kessler is involved in his own battle with Lubomir, and this is not good for Rene, considering he is fourth in the championship already. There's one round to go after this, and the championship leader is leaving the race, and just putting in another very fast lap with 31.2, 5 tenths quicker than Kimi Larson, and 8 tenths quicker than Tim Delisle. Tim Delisle's charge seems to have come to a sudden halt.
But again, that's because I would think these mistakes are so easy to make.
Absolutely.
The best are making these mistakes, and not just a single mistake either. So, I would imagine that Tim Delisle's got the pace there. We know that. We've seen it. But again, just as Rene is rather proven, a little bit too wide, especially there when you're then onto a relatively long, fast section. The amount of time he lost was catastrophic.
Yeah, and I mean, we were complimenting how well Tim Delisle was driving. His last 4 laps, 32.2, 33.2, 32.0 and 32.4. Compare that with Valtteri Alanda, who's on his 32.1, 31.1, 31.2 and 31.2.
Wow.
That's a few seconds easily. The gap now between Tim Delisle and Valtteri Alanda, 8.3 seconds. So it's just little mistakes that are gonna cost you a lot here.
And that kind of puts a little bit of pressure on Kimi Larson as well. He can see Valtteri is there, and that was I think was that Kimi's best lap last time around. It was 31.3, which is a stunning lap time. Still 1.5 tenths slower than Valtteri Alanda ahead of him last time around. So
absolutely, and
that can kind of tempt you to push a little bit too hard, and well, we all know the result of that here at Virginia.
Yeah, and the thing is, we know how good Kimi Larson is. We know his reputation in esports. We know you don't get as far as he did in competitions without being very good. And he's had a little bit of a tough start, I think, compared to coming into the series. His best
Evan. Sorry. It's the standard overtake there, is it? It's becoming known as
14. Yeah, talked it. But yeah, just to finish that point. Kimi Larson's previous best result so far is 7th place, last time out at Interlagos. So just getting second is a tremendous achievement. Obviously, the competition and the racer in him is always going to want more. So it'll be interesting to see how he approaches. Worth pointing out though, when we raced in Slogos, Valtteri Landa and René Osterkamp and Timo Valkyave, I think, all three of them made mistakes at some point in the race. And Interlagos is not as a difficult track as this, I think.
There are very few tracks as tricky as this one, especially in these things.
Absolutely. This is a very tough car combination. Car track combination.
Oh, Saradov, what's happened to you? You just made the move on over.
Oh, she's had a moment through the twisty bit. Yeah. She's dropped it through turn 5A. No, 5A, 6. Yep, yeah. Turn 6.
Ouch.
It's very easy to do. We saw René Osterkamp do it earlier in practice. Let me see if she was using DRS. We found out we can see it physically in the car. We just can't see it on the dash and see how many they've used.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like she was. It looks like she just, it just settled on the curve.
Just got crossed up, didn't it? Oh dear. A bit of a shame for Sarah, but she presses on nonetheless. I imagine that'll be a trip to the pits for you. René Osterkamp again, keeping Patrick Kessler straight and true. Oh, that was an unusual move there by Patrick. I think may well just got over.
Oh!
Then René had a big twitch.
That was huge. That could have very nearly been a moment, and that's not even one of the hard corners on this track. Turn 3 is relatively easy. I say that earlier and couldn't get anywhere near the apex, so I couldn't get the car turned anymore. But that's not the point.
You're braver than me. I didn't even attempt it.
I haven't driven this car at all, other than, like I said, a little bit in Lagos when it came out. But I like this track, and I wanted to see what it's like. And it is hard work. René again on the little bit of runoff and getting a little bit of oversteer coming out of oak trees. Getting a little bit ragged, is René.
He's pushing hard, is Mr. Osterkamp. But as we hit the halfway stage in this race, just under 30 minutes to go. Valtteri Landa leads by 3.2 seconds now over Kimi Larsen. Then a big gap, Larsen to Delisle. No one other than those who have had accidents showing any signs of coming in. Wow, that was a quick stop.
Stefan Hermann,
as soon as I say that, yeah, Stefan Hermann's coming. Sarah Duff, that was a quick stop from her because she just bounced off the wall. She was very lucky and didn't sustain any damage.
I suspect that is just a front wing change she's had. We've got Urkel Lindstrom in the pits as well. A lot of people going for the half and half. Big
incident, Kimi Larsen.
Oh no,
exactly the same place. Yep, he's gone. He's out, I think.
He's towed. Oh, what a shame. See what he did. He's going to be kicking himself. Absolutely kicking himself. So we went through turn 5, got through turn 5A, got a little bit on the curb. Yep, turn 6. Don't want to be on that curb. It will kill you. Oh, what a shame. That is Virginia International Raceway.
Unfortunately so, it's claimed another. We will see if Kimi returns to us, but that was a fair old shunt. So it would be a bit of a surprise if Kimi Larsen, what a shame, was such a potential podium gone in the blink of an eye. But is that not what we've been saying all along? How quickly it can turn around.
Yeah, it's like I said, this is an unforgiving circuit, and you have to be so patient on the throttle anyway in these cars. And there's something about this track; it's just a little bit slippy everywhere, and it's these curbs where Valtteri Landa is now through this snaking rapid quick succession of corners. If you touch those curbs a little too much, or at the wrong type of angle with a little bit too much power, you'll be off. And through that section, there is not much space.
Liebe Morris has brought his car in.
He's trying to cover Stefan Hermann, but I think Stefan's managed to jump him.
He has indeed. Not by much. That's what the overcut has done for Stefan Hermann. It's brought him out back ahead just of Liebe Morris, and Liebe actually had a quicker pit stop
Yeah.
Butelaar and Martinson bring their respective cars in as well. So that's just over half the field have had their stops now.
Yep, top 6 still yet to pit. Steffen leads those that have. About 23 seconds we're looking at a pit stop from what we're seeing so far.
About
23, 24. Yeah. So if Valtteri Lander pits now, he'll come out about 4 seconds behind René Oscar,
who is still fighting Patrick Kessler for what is currently a podium spot. Of course, lots of pit stops still to play out. And I would imagine a spin or two still to occur. Sarah Dove is now fighting Davy Butelaar, so she's been fighting someone all race long and now finds herself behind car 7. Car 07, apologies. There's more than one 7 in the series.
Yeah, and oh, Sarah looking, I thought she was going to be super brave and go for a move into turn 7 there. Talking of 7.
Yeah.
Whoa, I don't think that would go. Oof. That way, I don't know what she was doing there. That was an interesting line. I wouldn't have taken that myself.
That would have hurt.
That would have been deeply uncomfortable if you were in a G-force simulating rig. Well, Alexander Waldo is pitting now. So he's coming out. He should rejoin behind Glenstrup. Yep. But well ahead of David Butelaar and Sarah Dove. So he's gained. He's up 2 places from where he started.
Canute Martinson's not far off the back of the Butelaar-Dove battle, so he could well get involved in that. And look at that, Evan Imre, Stefan Herman, Lubomir Morris, all in short order now. Evan hasn't pitted, Stefan and Lubomir have. That could shuffle around the order a little bit when it comes to other people's pit stops. Oh wow! Sarah Dove, outside move. Is that an out trick? No, that's
turn 1.
Turn 1.
Turn 1 and 2.
Nicely done. So that corner's claimed a few incidents. So that was a brave move from Sarah Dove. And you got to say, if you've had an incident, it's very easy to just be too cautious from there on. But Tim Delar's in.
Yeah. And on that flip side of the argument, it's very easy to get angry with yourself and then make more mistakes because you've got the red mist. We've remarked about it before after René, I think, made a mistake at turn 1 at Suzuka. And it's that ability of those incredible drivers where they make a mistake and then don't get flustered by it and then attack it at that same corner next lap at maximum attack. And just believe that what they did was just a one-off and it won't happen again.
Look at Evan Imre. Now, he could easily just kind of jump aside and say, you know what, on you go. This isn't my battle. But, race his instinct. Is he going to have a crack at this? Is he going to try and keep Herman and Lubomir Morris behind him? Or what's going on with Canute? Nothing, he's lagged, I think, a little bit. His gap keeps disappearing on my screen, which is a little bit strange. I wonder what Evan's going to do here, because now he's got Stefan Herman nearly pushing him along the road. Oh, René Osterkamp is doing the same to Kessler. Oh, this could be interesting. No, he's not. He'll stay behind him, yeah.
For Evan, all Evan's going to do in a minute is just drive his own pace. It's up to them behind him to get past him as far as he's concerned, I think. But I suspect one of them will get past him now. Stefan will easily be able to slipstream past him. I don't think Evan's going to fight this one too hard. That's annoying if you're Lubomir, because you're now going to have to go through that twisty final section, turns 14 to 17A, because we need algebra corner numbers and names. Stefan kicking up a little bit of dirt on the entrance to turn 16. But Evan's staying out though, so Lubomir's going to have to fight his way through.
Quite a few people going quite a fair way past the halfway stage before bringing their car in. That's going to be an interesting one for Evan as well, because he's going to have sort of slipstream, dirty air, that kind of effect that we talked about before. Is he going to try and re-overtake? I shouldn't imagine he will.
No, he's probably just going for just to try and get pulled along and pulled around by Stefan for a little bit and try and gain some more pace that way. There's that braking zone coming into turn 12, the Oak Tree turn. Again, René Osterkamp
again, it looks like he's barreling in there, but he's probably just hitting his braking point at the normal time.
Yeah.
Of course, the concertina effect between himself and Kessler just makes that look much more dramatic on the outside. Is Osterkamp going to make a move? Is Kessler going to stop him? No, he's going to stay there again. Once again, Kessler's got the pace to keep him behind.
Yeah, and these two have been long time championship teammates. They've won many teams championships together. I think Patrick's going to come in the pits. Yeah, and they work so well together. Needless to say, we have seen them crash into each other at Suzuka, but that's very rare that happens. So yeah, it's good to see them work together. I was running with another wobble. This time going through on the exit of turn 2. This track, I love this track.
I did say to Phil Reed before we started, I think we're going to enjoy this more than the drivers will.
Evan Imre, look, is he going to get past Patrick Kessler? Sorry.
Ooh, that could have gotten a little ugly, but Kessler manages to fend off Stefan Herman. And there's Lubin Morris right on the back of them.
Oh no! Oh! Definitely run wide. I'd run wide at NASCAR Bend turn 3. That's just undone all his hard work. So he's got some
off. I mean, I wasn't quite looking at this stuff.
Let me have a look.
I bet what he did, I think he was gaining a bit too quickly on Kessler and bailed.
Patrick braked, I think, earlier than Stefan was expecting, and it somewhat caught him out. Which then meant Stefan had to really get on the brakes, which then unsettled his car, and then next minute he's sideways off the track. He didn't spin, so he's only lost a couple of seconds, but that is a crucial couple of seconds he's going to have to try and get back.
Yeah, absolutely. Lubin Morris on the back of Evan Imre. Again, as a reminder, Evan still has not pitted yet. So, go on.
I'm gonna tell you a horrible thing now.
Go on.
And I don't like this when it happens, and it's not the fault of the driver. It's just a show of absolute control of a race. It's cool when it happens, but it's Valtteri Landa, if he pits now and has a good pit stop, he will come out still in the lead.
Oh goodness me!
He's going for that. He's not going to get led every lap because Phil Reed led some.
That's true.
So he's not going to get all of the plaudits, but he's going to get most of them in a minute.
Oh, Evan, what's happened to Evan? He's pitting, so nothing's happened to him.
Yeah.
Landa's
that fight.
getting a bit of slipstream off of David Beatler. I'd imagine David will be back out on that one. He didn't really challenge him. You can't really put yourself offline too badly there, so that was absolutely fine. That's going to be Sarah Dove, next one down the road.
René running wide again at turn 12.
Goodness.
Let's have a look at the incident limit. René is second highest right now on 6.
Wow, we have 4 people that are still running on 0.
Yeah. Well, it helps to stay on the track and not get off track when you know you're going to die if you do.
Very true. But there is Sarah Dove, Valtteri Landa and David Beatler. And not all of them on the same lap as each other. This doesn't seem to be holding Valtteri Landa up any. I did wonder when he was coming through the traffic whether that would slow him down any, but no evidence of that at all. I can't imagine Sarah Dove is going to put up any real resistance to Valtteri, indeed give him a bit of a helping hand with the slipstream. But if Valtteri's stop is any longer, then we know he has been nursing front wing damage, and therefore his paces have been even more impressive, although I can't imagine it. He can't be that much quicker than everybody else with damage.
It would be so much more than impressive. There isn't a word to describe the impressiveness, if that's the case. If he's actually managed to escape damage, then that is amazing. Because he got a fair old clobber from the back of Frillwood Peter car when he had that issue. But yeah, we will see. And if it is a front wing change, it's not something you get a choice of in iRacing. If you need a front wing or you need a rear wing, it's done for you, whether you like it or not. There are optional repairs. Oh, as he comes in now.
He comes.
There are optional repairs and required repairs. Optionals, that's up to you if you take it, hence the word up. Required, you're not leaving the box until they're done. Front wing and rear wing generally don't count as either, you just sit there and wait. As Valtteri comes to the very end of the pit lane to serve his pit stop. Up on the jacks he goes.
6.8 seconds.
The quickest, no, second quickest pit stop. Quickest pit stop currently goes to Evan Imre, 6.5.
And in comes René Osterkamp straight behind him, but yeah, that gap's going to go back up to probably over 30 seconds then.
What a commanding lead.
Is that Tim Delisle? Yep, there goes Tim Delisle up into second from starting the 6th, so it's been eventful, but a strong finish coming up for, or potentially for, Tim Delisle. And where will René Osterkamp reappear? Behind Morris and Kessler, so that's 5th position then for René. That's not what he would have hoped for.
I'm
Stefan
just
Herman right behind him.
Yeah. Just going to check something because... Oh, not there. In Interlagos, when Charlie Summers won, he set the record for the biggest feature. He won't set the biggest for the biggest race-winning margin in AOR iRacing history.
Oh yes.
And I was just curious, given the gap to Valtteri and Tim Delisle at the minute, whether Valtteri is going to break that. If he does, he needs to go. If he wants to do that, he needs to get a lap. It's about a second a lap quicker than Tim Delisle until the end of the race. So I think the gap was 30 seconds.
What's happened to Patrick Kessler? Have you've overdone that yet? Half spin. Oh, lovely drift! Not the quickest, but certainly the stylish way we've seen Oak Tree taken. Oh, and then he actually nailed Lubomir Morris back on that back straight. Wow, that was an impressive recovery for Patrick Kessler.
Yeah, slipstream, it's a wonderful thing.
Oh, it is the one for the one attacking anyway. But look how defensive he's gone very early on. He's weaving all over the place. He doesn't want to let Lubomir nor René get any advantage of it.
Now, Lubomir is in a bit of a hunting pack at the minute. You used to describe the SimRCs when they were in the GTs as a pack of tigers. And he's got Patrick, go on.
Butelaar, same corner as again Oak Tree. What's he done here? Oh, he just got on the, whether he opened his DRS a little early or just got on the rumble strip on the outside, but tiny touch on that grey rumble strip and round he went. But yes, I did used to describe the SimRCs as the tiger-coloured Ferraris. Yeah,
and Lubomir on his own against Patrick Kessler, René Osterkamp and Stefan Herman, all racing SimRC colours.
Very much so.
René very close. Yeah, very wide there. He managed to recover it though. That would have been a squeak.
Wow. And here comes René Osterkamp. Surely that's going to be a move for him. No.
He's going to give it a go. Although Lubomir is going to have the slipstream from Kessler. Lubomir defends it. Oh, the grass is looking pretty wide. This is going to be brave.
Oh, clinch! No, no! That was... Yeah, Lubomir needed to have backed out of that. And, I mean, fair play to Kessler for hanging on to that and keeping Osterkamp behind him. But Stefan Herman's gone through. And look at the time that Lubomir's lost as a result of it. Really should have backed out of that a little bit early. That was never going to work.
It was optimistic, and it required a lot of cooperation from all three of them to not take take all of each other out.
Sarah Dove's had a problem. Oh, that's a very strange one. He's lost it on a straight.
Oh,
how strange! Please do, because that's a very weird issue from Sarah Dove there.
Oh, well, she lost it through turn 10. Basically did what Phil Reed did earlier. Let's see if she did something afterward. And then she's coming up towards turn 11. You can hear the wheel spin. She's trying to put the power down. I can't see anything of it. It looks like she just dropped it through turn 10.
Oh, this three-way pack has got... that's got a lot of fighting to do. Here, Kessler is now going to have to defend for everything he's got along this back straight. That's about just over 5 tenths of a second at best between Stefan Osterkamp. Here comes Osterkamp with Stefan Herman in short order as well. Over the first crest. Back downhill as the second crest, and in. No, that's not going to condense enough. But they've still got just under 12 minutes to do. That translates into roughly 8 laps. So, yeah, that's Kessler is hanging on to that last podium position, and his heart is probably in his mouth at this stage. Oh, and that's not a good run coming out of turn 17, and that is Osterkamp up into third. Is he going to be able to hold it? Yes, that move is long since done before they get to the braking zone. And René Osterkamp now back onto a podium position.
Yeah, great move by René. He absolutely nailed the final corner, which is interesting because he's the one he struggled with the most this race, but he absolutely perfected it and got a great run and managed to pass Patrick Kessler long before turn 1. Stefan Hermann also lost out a little bit through that because he had a little bit of a wobble out of the final corner.
What's Valtteri Landa going to... what does he need to get that gap to beat Charlie's record?
30.021, I think.
That's a
I
tall
think
order.
It's going to be a tall order, and I don't think he's going to be able to do it unless he puts in some needlessly fast laps. He's running very well at the minute. His best is a 31.0, and it's just a 30.9.
30.9.
Although, yeah, that's sub 30, so he's really pushing.
Let's hope he doesn't. I mean, this kind of reminds me of Senna and Monaco, just pushing needlessly hard because he can. Let's hope it doesn't end up that way with because of course Senna binned it. So
it's exactly what we were saying the other week about Charlie when he was just constantly extending that gap with great ease. So he did. Valtteri pulled 1.1 seconds on Tim Delisle last lap.
Here comes Stefan Hermann on the inside. Yeah, he's got the move done. Once it has Kessler down another position. It's basically an exact carbon copy of what happened with René Osterkamp the previous lap. Decent exit off that final turn. And Kessler loses another spot. But again, that CMRC trio all fighting for that last podium position. And that I wouldn't be at all surprised if that goes to the flag, that particular battle.
Yes, I suspect that will. I'm thinking René's going to try and check out from this as soon as he can. He's not going to want to be hanging around for too much longer.
No, indeed. But still just under 9.5 minutes remain here at Virginia Raceway. Valtteri Landa leads by just shy of 22 seconds from Tim Delisle. And that's David Butelar. He's getting a big old helping of I said DRS then. That'll be interesting if David Butelar's given Valtteri Landa was DRS. That'll be a new one.
Trading it between drivers is not something we actively
yeah, that would be an interesting mechanic going on. And past Butelar then, and he will continue along his merry way. A 31.1 for Landa last time, a 32.1 for Tim Delisle in second position, 22.3 seconds down the road. And another 13 back is this pack, although Kessler does seem to be falling off the back of this trio now. So maybe their fighting is done. We've seen how René's struggled a little bit from pushing a bit too hard. That may happen again. It could happen to any of them. So we'll see if that three will go on.
I'll tell you what. If Valtteri keeps up this kind of pace, and Tim makes a mistake, Charlie's going to lose that record. He's going to have had it for 2 weeks.
And how long did the previous one last for?
Years, like 4 years, I think it was. Previously, it was done in season 3.
Season 3. Season 1.
It was a long time ago. Season a long time ago, yeah. But at the minute, Valtteri is pulling a second a lap at least. If Tim backs off and Valtteri doesn't, that gap's going to get bigger. If Tim makes a mistake, that gap's going to get bigger. He's only got a few laps left. But at the minute, that gap is extending at an alarming rate.
Another 31.2. So not only is Landa quick, he's consistently quick. 31.9. So that'll be 31.9 near as damn it. So yeah, that won't have increased the gap enough for Valtteri Landa, but he's going to push on like a maniac at here.
If he doesn't get fastest, if he doesn't get the record, he's going to be very close to it.
He's going to be pretty damn close.
It's going to be one of the biggest, I think, at the minute. And this, what we're doing here is basically setting up the worst and meanest commentator.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Is that
we're giving him all of these plaudits with 7 minutes nearly, well, just under 7 minutes to go.
Yeah, and then we find Valtteri Landa buried in the wall at 14.
Which we don't wish upon anybody.
No,
if he gets this, he's driven brilliantly. I criticised him earlier, and again shows what I know, because he smashed it since then. I think they can hear me, you know. But he's driven a faultless race so far. He's really been on it.
Can you imagine and Sarah Dove are close to one another? So Sarah's been reeling Canute in for the last few laps. Have a look at the lap times. 32.4 for Sarah, 32.8 for Canute. So potential battle there. That is for 10th.
Yeah, it's Canute was off the pace a little bit earlier in the race, but he seems to have got back into it again now. Running in the top 10 again, slightly reduced field, but top 10's a top 10, doesn't matter.
The race leader's caning on them. He's done another 30.9. You utter lunatic!
He's on it.
You can hear, the Ron Dennis pit, for God's sake, slow down.
This is as far as things though, sometimes you can just get almost hypnotized, I think, by the track. If you're enjoying driving it, especially, it's just so easy to.
Oh, there goes Canute.
Here he is. So I'm from the onboard of Valtteri. That was the easiest lapping he's going to get, and that's not to say that it's hard to lap people. They do have to let leaders through. But yeah, Boots are going to capitalise on that and get straight past Canute Martinson. So Canute now the last of the runners, because Kimi Larsen did retire from the session, and I'm not too
surprised.
Phil Reed technically still in the pit lane on a 40-minute pit stop.
Oh.
Don't think we'll be seeing him again, but he's still in the session.
Yeah, they're rebuilding the car for the race in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
They're doing it now in a live pit lane.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, well, use of available time. Well, 4 laps to go then for this particular race, or 4 minutes 20 on the timer, but the checkered flag will fall when Valtteri completes 4 more racing laps. 31.7 his last lap. Of course, he has got traffic around him, so that will force him to kind of take it easy, because the last thing you'll want to do is trip over a back marker and end up doing any lawn mowing out there. Alexander Waldo is close to Erka Lindström.
Oh, is Waldo going to go and do something? It looks like he's technically gained.
He set his personal best last time around, 32.0.
And Erka set his best lap last time around, 32.3. Oh, well, before he crossed the line just now.
But Alexander Waldo gained another 4 tenths last time around, so it does look like car 4 is going to be putting the pressure on Erka. Oh, already is putting that pressure on. And that, just ahead of them, is Lubomir Morris. It's about 2.5 seconds there. But Lubomir lost about 6 tenths to Lindström and a full second to Alexander Waldo. So that might close up before the checkered flag falls.
Absolutely. We've seen it many times with these series. Where someone, the battle's kind of dispersed in the middle, but then come straight back together again at the end for an exhilarating finish. I am going to make a bold prediction now.
Ooh, please do.
Well, maybe this is just my poor maths, or maybe it's no. Valtteri Landa has a 36-point lead over René Osterkamp. He is going to be scoring already over Timo Valkyrie and Charlie Summers, because they're not here.
Yes.
At the minute, because he got pole, and he currently has the fastest, and he has no incident points.
No,
so
he doesn't. René Osterkamp has fastest lap.
Oh, he does! René's done a full 30.8!
Yeah, I've only just noticed that. When the heck did he do that?
He did it on lap 34.
Oh, so it was in the last few laps he's done it then?
Yep, he snuck that one in.
Yeah. But anyway.
So, 50, 53. Valtteri Lander is currently picking up 54 points.
Okay.
René Osterkamp is picking up 41 points. So the gap between them will be... Oh god. Why have I set this up for myself?
You started this train.
Point is, Valtteri is currently gaining 54 points over a 36-point gap at the minute.
So basically you're saying he's securing the championship.
I think he may be winning the championship right now. Alec, if you're in chat, work it out, please. Let me know.
I wonder, would Valtteri Lander know that René Osterkamp's got the fastest lap?
Unless he has software that tells him no. It's not something that the basic iRacing package does not tell you what other people have done fastest.
Or would he know that he doesn't have it?
Nope.
Because I wonder if that was
in iRacing, all you know, if he's just running the standard stuff that comes with iRacing, you can find out what the lap deltas you can find out are your last lap, your session best, your all-time best, your optimal, which is all your best sectors put together, and your all-time optimal. You can load in other lap times from like time trial or something like that, but that's not something that's live updated. So it's not like Valtteri will know what René's done or vice versa, unless they're running spotters or they have a third-party thing that tells them that. They will not know what each other have done. So René will have done that on his own.
I see. Well, Valtteri Lander comes across the line. Ooh, is he just going to beat the flag? By a second. 1 second was left on the clock as the checkered flag fell, literally directly behind his car, as the white flag fell, rather. But Valtteri Lander has begun the final lap. Lap number 40 here at Virginia, leads by 26.2 seconds over Tim Delisle, who was pretty much just minding his own business. Further 12.5 back to René Osterkamp. Then Stefan Hermann, Patrick Kessler. But look further down the road, it's Elke Lindström and Liebermir Morris. Oh, wow, that's brave. That's very brave to try and move there. Then slightly further behind, Waldo's fallen off the back of this battle. But I saw that Morris had been struggling for pace for quite a few laps. Oh, and that's too wide for Lindström. He's just managed to gather that up before flying off the road. Here comes Alexander Waldo. Is the second Super Swede going to fly past Elke Lindström? He's going to be brave. He's going to be forced to the outside for turn 1. Is he going to get it done? Nose is slightly ahead. Elke going to have the inside line. No, Waldo backs out of that one. Oh, and he's binned it, trying to get the power down.
So easily done.
Very easily done. He's by far not the first to do it at that particular point. But this then leaves Elke Lindström to chase off after Liebermir Morris.
And just to point out, as Valtteri's coming across the line, he's not going to win the championship. My maths friend has told me he's not going to win it. He's won the race by a commanding lead, and he's not going to take Charlie Summers' record off him. But he's not going to win the championship today. René needed 6th or 7th or lower or something like that.
So he's still in it, but it's going to need pretty much death of a Lander in the final round, in all fairness. But here comes Tim Delisle to take second position, where he's been for quite a long time. Started 6th, so a decent recovery there. René Osterkamp, what might have been for car 29, but he is going to cross the line 1.5 seconds ahead of Stefan Hermann. So René rounds out the podium. Oh, Elke Lindström's back with Liebermir Morris again, but that was his best opportunity coming into that turn 14, and that hasn't quite happened for him. Patrick Kessler crosses the line for 5th place. Liebermir Morris, I would imagine he's just going to hold off Elke Lindström. Oh, is it going to be side by side?
Runs the line if he's got DRS, he's going to need it now. Did he get him? Yes, he did!
2 thousandths of a second! Liebermir Morris is demoted to 7th. Barely. So barely.
Oh, so close.
And the last of our lead lap runners is Evan Imre in 9th position. Everyone else is a lap down. There are your confirmed finishers then. Valtteri Alander, Tim Delisle, René Osterkamp, Stefan Hermann, Patrick Kessler, Erkan Lindström, Lubin Mimara's, Alexander Waldo, Evan Imre, Sarah Dove, David Beetalar, Kane Martinson, Kimi Larson. Well, Larson downwards didn't see the flag, so Kimi Larson, Gustav Holstein, Phil Reed, and Daniel Morris, alas, did not see the start.
That was a bit climatic towards the end there.
Yeah, just a bit. Wow.
Well, what a tremendous drive from Valtteri.
Yeah, that was flawless.
And like we've seen, this is not an easy track. So to get such a commanding victory at a track where a mistake can cost you so much is very impressive.
Who wants to talk to us? Anybody? Well, they're kind of still out there.
Hey, we've got our race winner.
It must be done.
Hello.
There he is. Well, hello once again, Mr. Alander.
Hello.
Wow, you were pushing like a complete maniac, even towards the end of that race with such a commanding lead. You must be happy with that.
Of course. The setup was a bit handful, but although other than that, I managed to finish the race without any big mistakes, so I'm happy.
Now, did you have any damage on your car as a result of that impact with Phil Reed early on? Because that was a hell of a bang that happened. We did. I
didn't even got a contact 0x, so I think that was some kind of lag contact or something.
Oh, that's a point. Yes, you did indeed have 0 incidents. Towards the end. So yes, fair point.
Yeah.
Can I just ask? There was a period of time where you were absolutely flying, fast lap, running over nearly a second or over quicker than Tim Delisle. And we noticed that, well, KK noticed that René had stolen fastest lap from you. Now, I'm going to point this out to you. You smashed it on the last lap with a 30.5. Was that a deliberate attempt?
Of course. I don't want to let anything on the table, so let's take the first lap also.
You're also very close to championship.
That's what I'm looking for, because after Donington it looked like I'm going to lose it, because it went horribly wrong for me, and Interlagos wasn't much better for me. So. Well, now I finally managed to get a good race after those 2 tough races. So.
Well, just one more in these cars. It looks like you've been quite comfortable in these cars. Is that fair to say, or are you just taking each race as it comes?
It depends, like what kind of setup I managed to do. So if it suits my driving style, then there's no problem. But sometimes the setup I can't drive the car how I would like to drive it, so it's a bit tricky and I lose time. But like in Nürburgring or Suzuka, I managed to do a really good setup, and I'm really looking forward to Spa. Really fast track and nice track, so let's try to do the same there.
Well done once again. Congratulations on another win. And on to the final round.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Who's next?
Let's get David Beetalar in.
Why not?
Congratulations. Oh.
Hey!
Yes,
in the mid-conversation interruption.
Yeah, good evening. Thanks.
Hello, Mr. Beetalar. Well. Looks like you were having a few incidents coming off of that dreaded turn 10 around the oak tree. How was that race for you?
It was a terrible race. The whole week I was asking myself what I'm doing in Virginia, because I couldn't get it done. And actually last week it was on Imola and I was in top 10 times every. So I didn't know. I couldn't get it to work today. Yeah. So I was struggling on the back of on the oak tree. Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't alone. There were quite a few people that were struggling down that way. So, is it a case of just the track being quite tricky, or it's the car not quite your driving style? What is it that didn't work for you this time?
That was actually, I think it was the car. I was everybody was driving on the setup wing setting C, and I didn't feel comfortable. So I think I put in B, and I lost some speed, I think.
I see. So just one more round in these in the Formula Renault 3.5s. Is that one you're looking forward to, or are you looking forward to the season finishing?
Oh, it will be fun. I think it is in Spa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will be looking forward to there because I like the track. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, good luck for that, and we will see you next time.
Okay, thank you.
That leaves Mr. Lindstrom.
It does indeed.
And there he is. Hello, Erka Lindstrom.
Hello, guys.
How are you feeling after that one? You had your fair share of battles by the look of it.
Yeah, it was. How do I say? I have some problem with the car a little bit. You know, I lose some speed in the straights somehow. Suddenly, I don't know. Is it the sideboard damage again or something like that? But yeah, in the end, it was crazy because yeah.
We saw you have an amazing finish at the end. Was that part of the plan?
I noticed that Lubomir had some problems with the speed, and I just tried to get the pass before the last lap, but then almost I lose it in the roller coaster, into some, like, I don't remember which lap that was, but yeah, I was saving the DRS. And in the last, I saved only one DRS left into the last lap, and then I saved it to the main straight, and then I get to the
Oh, nice.
Well, you did manage to secure that position by 0.002 of a second, so it's a good thing your front wing was still on, because that's pretty much what you won by, or won that particular battle by, I should say. So
yeah.
Spa as the final round. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, Spa should be a very good combination with this car. I'm pretty sure it's much more fun than many other tracks. But yeah, of course I want solid finish there too. So it's a good wrap for the season.
Well, good luck for the Spa, and we will see you on track in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, thanks guys. It's a beer time. Yeah.
Well earned. Well done.
Should we get Waldo in? Last one.
Oh, go on then. We'll get Waldo in.
Shit.
And we interrupted another
don't swear.
conversation. Mr. Waldo.
Hello.
Well, you had some battling, certainly towards the end of that one. How are you feeling there?
Well, first of all, I'm shocked I had this pace for this race to actually kind of catch some people in this race. I was stuck behind Erka for a really long time this race, and slowly, just little by little, caught him up all race. And then obviously I caught him up in the end, caught up to him in the end, but spun at the first corner, final lap.
I noticed that you had indeed reeled in Erka Lindstrom towards the end, and then wondered what happened. I mean, it would have been. Were you sure? Were you confident you were going to be able to come past Erka, or were you just kind of taking each corner as it came?
Oh, sorry. I'm pretty sure I would be able to pass Erka during the final lap, but it would more be a question if he could be able to repass me on the straight going to the final corner, the final straight before the end of the lap. But we never got to know now. But I'm extremely happy with 8th anyway, because I think this is my best result I've ever had in a race. So I can't really complain too much.
Awesome stuff. Thoughts ahead of Spa?
Well, I think Spa is probably going to be the track that's going to suit this car the best, I think, for this season. And I think most people are looking forward to do Spa, so I think it's going to be a good race.
Can I just ask what your reaction is as teammate Kimi Larson? Because I think you practiced with him a little bit.
Yeah, we did some practice early.
Because he was very quick tonight.
Yeah, it's like a thing. I wasn't too shocked that he was quick because it's Kimi, but he didn't show this pace to me when we practiced together. But then sadly he had a moment. I'm not sure really what happened to him, but I think I heard he had a crash. So.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah,
with the tools at our disposal for iRacing, these incidents don't often go unnoticed, and we did spot that one.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
Indeed. Well, good luck for the final race, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
And that is going to be it for this evening. Thank you very much to those that have been with us throughout the stream. A great pleasure to have you alongside. Thank you very much, Stevie, for keeping me on the straight and narrow. Always a good pleasure, good sir.
Yeah, it's always an honour to sit and talk over these races with you. It's a good way to spend my evening. Coming up on the iRacing AOR League broadcast coming up in the future, on Monday, we have round 8 of the GTE League at Spa-Francorchamps.
Lovely.
On the following Friday, we have the finale of the F3 League at Detroit Belle Isle. Very much looking forward to that. It's a very bumpy street track. It's going to be a hell of a challenge. Can't wait. And then, as you've heard from all of our drivers that have spoken to us tonight, in 2 weeks' time, it's the finale of this league for its inaugural season at Spa again. So we have a double dose of Spa twice in 2 weeks.
So we had treble Interlagos, so we've got double Spa, and there's no complaints had by anyone.
Nope.
If they do, they come and see me. Thank you very much to everybody that's been with us, and we will see you next time for more AOR action. Thank you very much, and good night.